Some say Chinese is one of the most difficult languages in the world, and learning it is almost impossible.
So learning Chinese, the most difficult thing.
非常非常非常非常非常难
So I'm sort of tone deaf. I can't really hear them.
I think the cultural mindset is the biggest complication for
The
us.
grammar.
知吃思诗都很难
It's just complicated so much.
Only because you're not learning it in the right way. Why not try Takeaway Chinese, where you can take some Chinese away and experience progress day by day. Takeaway Chinese, we will promise you a difference.
你好，欢迎收听随行汉语 Welcome to Takeaway Chinese. I'm Niuniu with Tony Reed in the studio. Hi, Tony.
Hey, Niuniu. How you doing today?
Doing very well. Thank you for asking. You're
Yeah.
always very nice.
I try, and it's not something that I'm trying to do. It's just natural.
Oh, good for you. It's something I try to do all the time.
It sounds a bit exhausting, a little bit.
Yeah, but sometimes knowing that someone doesn't really like you that much, doesn't that bother you?
Well...
I can totally tell. I mean, in the office, I know someone really like me. I know some people, they like me. But if I sense someone is like, it's not like they don't like me. It's more like, yeah. And I will feel a little bit uncomfortable and, on my edges. And I'm like, I need them to like me.
Come on. Who in the office doesn't like you? Come on.
Oh, thank you for saying that. Now I am happy, but that's the thing. And sometimes if I say things to people that are totally professional about little bit mistakes they made or something, I hope they can adjust, even when I'm using the slightest, sweetest tone.
Oh, you mean when you correct people?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Even I try really hard to soften the tone and stuff, as long as they show a little bit of, uncomfortable, a little bit of unhappiness, even that kind of unhappiness is not towards me. I'm still just like really uncomfortable and trying to make things up,
Oh, well, that's where you and I are different. I mean, if they're wrong, they're wrong. Just tell them, hey, look, this needs to change, right?
Yeah, I do that too. I just try to make it up, like bring a little bit sweet or some snack afterwards.
You sound like a serial people pleaser.
What is a serial people pleaser?
It's like compulsive. It's just part of you. You can't really shake it.
I can't really shake it. I want people to like me. Even for those who I do not like, I want them to like me.
Interesting.
It's weird, I know. But do you know how to say that, though, in Chinese?
People pleaser?
People pleaser.
I'm not sure. You're going to have to educate me on that.
That is a hard one, I have to say. It has not a lot to do with the direct translation of people pleaser, these two English words. The Chinese one is actually called 讨好型人格.
讨好型人格?
Yes. So 讨好 means to deliberately make people like you by certain words or action or anything. So you're doing things to kind of like butter them up, a little bit like that.
Okay.
型 means type, and 人格 is personality. So 讨好型人格, you're trying really hard to please someone and it's almost your personality. That's what this word means in Chinese. And people pleaser.
Okay.
That is going to be the topic of today's Takeaway Chinese.
Oh, your personality type, huh? We're talking about your personality. Okay, got it.
From a certain way of categorizing, yes.
Right.
So that's what we're going to talk about. And for our dear listeners, if you're interested in Chinese culture and you want to get a grip on the Chinese language, then this is the show for you. Stick with us for 30 minutes and you soon see the rewards. And for more fun Chinese learning, follow our Facebook page, Learn Chinese, to watch many fun videos and live streams. But now, let's provide you with some free Chinese for takeaway. 你怎么又在帮他做工作？我不太会拒绝别人的请求，不想引起冲突。不过没事儿的，我很乐于助人。你要学会说不，不要总是对他有求必应。 做吃力不讨好的事。你说的对，我应该努力戒掉自己的讨好型人格。
I can recall having this kind of conversation before.
Yeah, nowadays people started to reflect on themselves quite much, and I realized having this compulsory need for others to like them is not necessarily a good trait.
Especially if you're new somewhere, if you're someone trying to fit in an organization or in any environment, really. You want this, drawing the line of what's okay and what's not okay. Sometimes it's hard to know when and how to do it.
Yeah, and that is why this also is a very popular topic among people here in China as well. And before jumping into discussing the language points of our conversation, actually recently Takeaway Chinese started a new activity inviting our dear listeners and friends on Facebook, on Learn Chinese, as well as Niuniu Chinese to start recording and reciting their own version of the conversation in their voices. Yes, that's pretty exciting, and we've received a lot of voice messages after we told them that we are doing this. So how about we let them have a go first?
Sounds good. Let's hear it.
Take a listen.
你怎么又在帮他做工作？
Why are you helping him with his work again?
我不太会拒绝别人。
I'm not very good at rejecting other people's requests.
不想引起冲突
And I don't want to start a conflict.
你要学会说不
You have to learn to say no.
不要总是对他有求必应，做吃力不讨好的事。
Do not always agree to his demands and be a foe for your pain.
That's fun. I mean, they've made some kind of improvement already compared to the previous one we did. I think that was for the Qingming Festival, the Tomb Sweeping Day.
Yeah.
That was our first try, and we've got some really nice, great responses. So we decided to make it a thing in the future.
Yeah, it would be nice to hear some people that sound worse than I do every once in a while. But not today, not this time.
Not that attitude. But I think all of you are doing really well, including Tony, of course.
You're the teacher, you have to say that. Stop people pleasing.
No, see? Now you know this character of mine, you are going to use it against me. I shouldn't have told you. But even though you guys are pronouncing the words quite well, let's see if you understand each and every word and maybe the grammar point of it. Right. So in the future, perhaps on top of asking our dear friends and listeners to send in voice messages, you guys can try to pick up some words that you like to use or like to explain or you like to use in a sentence. And maybe you can send us voice messages of your own version of explaining the Chinese words. Looking forward to that day.
Yes.
All right, so for the first sentence, 你怎么又在帮他做工作?
This is, why are you helping him with his work again? So, 你怎么, so you, 怎么, this is like,
how come?
How come, yeah. 有, this is not
again.
This is again.
Yes.
Okay, right. It's not have.
Not have.
Yeah, this is the character. I recognize that.
Yeah, good.
在, this is like ing, like in the present continuous, you're doing it now. 帮, I think this is help.
Help.
And then 他 is him or her. And 做 is do. 工作 is like task or work. Right?
Task or work, yes. Actually, in the Chinese sentence, you can also directly say 你怎么又在帮他工作? Help him work. That works as well. So here, 做工作, do his work, do his job.
Okay.
So, 我不太会拒绝别人的请求，不想引起冲突.
And this is, I'm not very good at rejecting other people's requests, and I don't want to start a conflict. So this is 我不太会. So I, and then 不太会 is not good at.
Not really good at. I can hear the people-pleasing personality in this sentence because if you want to say, most people would say 我不会拒绝, I don't know how to. But for this person, he or she deliberately softened the sentence by saying 不太会, I'm not really good at. So softening the tone and making things,
worse than they really are.
or not as strong as they really are, the emotion carried in the sentences. So that's kind of like a trait of people pleasers.
Okay.
我不太会拒绝。
拒绝. This is reject.
Reject, 拒绝. So 拒绝 is definitely a verb here, and you can use it in a lot of occasions. So 我不会拒绝别人. I don't know how to reject people.
别人, this is other people.
Other
right?
people. And you can also say, 他拒绝了我. He rejected me. And you can also put a noun after reject, so you know what exactly has been rejected. So 他拒绝了邀请. He rejected the invitation. Or 他拒绝来给我工作. He rejected to work for me. So you can actually add a whole sentence or a word or nothing after reject, after 拒绝 in Chinese.
Okay. Hope you guys out there got all that. All right.
请求.
拒绝 is reject. 别人 is other people. 的请求.请求, this is requests.
Yes.
And then 不想, this is like I don't want, right? And
don't want to.
引起,
引起.
this is like cause or
cause
start.
or start.
And then 冲突, this is like a fight or argument or
Yeah, I think it's a little bit like all of that, both of that. So 冲突 literally can be translated as conflict. So 冲 carries the meaning of rush, and 突 again also I think it carries the meaning of rush. So if two sides are rushing into each other, they are going to clash.
Right.
So there will be a conflict. So 冲突 conflict. Like you said, in different contexts, you can actually translate them into a fight or a quarrel or anything that related to a conflict. 冲突.
butt heads, because two objects or individuals are crashing into each other.
Yeah.
The first image that comes to mind is like two rams in the wild.
Oh,
with
yeah.
the horns. And
Yeah, that's right. So 冲突.
好.
不过没事儿的，我很乐于助人。
But it's okay. I'm very happy to help others.
Yeah.
So 不过没事. So I know 没事的, it's like 没事. This is like it's okay.
It's
right?
okay.
And then 不过, this is like
But?
Yeah,
but it's okay. It's fine. I know I'm doing other people's work, but I'm fine with it. Yeah, I choose to. That is another trait of people pleaser. They are not really happy about it, but compared to having conflict with others, just simply saying yes to certain tasks or certain favors is easier. So 不过没事的, you will hear that a lot from people pleasers.
Can you also say 但是没事? Or you have to say
Yeah,
不过?
you can say 但是 as well. It's
Okay.
just I think we've talked about it really long ago. That is 但是 is if you think of 不过 and 但是 these two buts as turning, then 不过 is like a U-turn, whereas 但是 is a V-turn. So 但是 is a little bit more
Abrupt.
than that. Yes.
Okay. Got it. I'm very 乐于助人.
Yeah.
This is an expression for someone who likes helping people.
Exactly. We've talked about it, I think, in previous episodes. 乐于助人, a Chinese idiom, a Chinese expression. 乐 means happy. 于 means at something. It's kind of like an ancient time 在, just that you would see it more often in old sayings or set expressions. 助, 帮助, help. So 你可以帮助我吗? Can you help me? 有什么能帮助您的? Is there anything I can help you with? So 帮助 means to help.
Oh, I need to learn that second one. I'm always on the other side of the spectrum. 你可以帮我吗?
Can you help me?
Yeah, well, I don't know how to deliver or offer my help to others. So how do
you can just say 我可以帮你吗? Can I help you?
Oh,
Right? You can just
我可
reverse.
以帮你吗?
You can say
Okay,
that.
I'll need to write that.
Or 帮助你吗? Just in case you want to use a two-syllable word. 帮助.
帮助.
Both 帮 and 助 mean help, and 帮助 together is the two-character word. 帮助 help.
Okay.
So 乐于助 help 人 people. So happy to help people. 乐于助人. Definitely, this is a very positive expression, a positive idiom saying that for those who are happy to help, you use the word 乐于助人. 他很乐于助人. He's always happy to help. 我很乐于助人. I'm very happy to help others.
Okay. And again, 帮助吗 means need some help or you want some help or
just help.
Help?
Help.
So if it's need, then it's 需要帮助吗?
Do you need any help?
Okay,
perfect. 你要学会说不，不要总是对他有求必应，做吃力不讨好的事。
So here you have to learn how to say no. Don't always agree to his demands and do painful yet thankless tasks.
Yeah.
So 你要, so like you want, or in this case you have to, right?
Or you should, yes.
学会,
学会.
I think this is learn. And then 说, say, 不, which is no here.
A very useful sentence. So if you're talking to a people pleaser, you should learn this sentence and say the sentence to them a lot. 你要学会说不. And in Chinese, we know there's always the verb, the verb or the action and also the result of it. So in Chinese, we say 看, that means to look, and 看到 means to see. So the result is here. So here it's the same situation. You've got 学, that's learn to, and 会 means know how, know already. So 学 means to learn something, but 学会 almost means master. So you learn it and now you know how to do it. So 学会说不, say no. You need to learn to say no and you really learn it and really know how to do it.
Okay, master. I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. 不要.
不要.
Like that's normally like don't want.
Don't,
right?
yes.
Or don't. Or 别, it's like 别, right?
别, yes, perfect.
总是. And this is
always.
And 对他.
对他, to him or for him.
Okay. And then 有求. 有求. This and being. That's,
together. It's a Chinese idiom. 有求必应.
And that's to like kind of like do whatever is asked.
Yeah.
Or just do whatever.
So 有 is have. 求, you can understand 求 as 要求. 要求 would be a request.
Okay.
So 必 is must. And 应 is 答应, respond to. So if you respond to as long as he has a request, then you're saying yes to all his demands, right? So have a request, must answer. That would be you always answer to his requests. You always fulfill or agree to his demands. 有求必应.
Okay.
This is a neutral word, I think. It's not necessarily negative because if you, for example, are talking about a really nice relationship and you want to say 我们对对方有求必应 to each other, we would answer each and every request from each other. That's quite sweet. So,
sounds nice.
Right. Neutral word 有求必应.
All right. 做起力不太好. 吃力不讨好. So 做吃力不讨好
的事. Yes.
So 做 is do, right? And then
的事.
吃力不太讨好.
不讨好.
So difficult.
Yeah, this is
an expression.
It's an expression, yes. 吃力不讨好, you always use them together. We know 吃 often means to eat, but it can be used in words carrying other meanings. For example, 吃力. 力 is power or strength. So 吃力 actually is, it takes a lot of strength. It means, like you translated, painful or painstaking. And in Chinese, we also say 吃苦. 苦 is bitter. So if you say someone 是一个能吃苦的人, you're saying this person can work really hard or in hard situations. 吃苦. And also in Chinese, we also have 吃亏, which basically means to suffer certain losses, not some minor ones. Let's say if you guys are splitting a bill, even though you didn't eat so much, you are paying exactly half. then in that case, you're suffering a little bit of loss. You're taking a little bit of loss. It's not something very dramatic, yet it's 吃亏 in Chinese.
Okay.
And so you can see that even though 吃 in itself is definitely eat, it can be used for other meanings in a word. And here, 吃力 means to do something that is hard to do. And 不 we know is no, or used to show a negative meaning. And the 讨好, we've talked about it, it means to please. So here, 吃力不讨好 is an expression talking about the things that you do and it's hard to do and you finish it, yet no one thanks you. 吃力不讨好.
C'est la vie, such is life, right? There's so many tasks that we do that we have to do and we don't get a thank you for it.
We don't get a thank you for it. So 吃力不讨好的是 the things that you do that are so hard, yet you don't really get the credit.
Yeah. But when you screw up, then
you get the blame.
That's right.
Oh yeah, that happens.
That's the way it goes.
All right. 你说的对，我应该努力戒掉自己的讨好型人格。
And you're right. I should try to stop being a people pleaser. It doesn't sound very sincere, but it's just like, I'm just shutting you up for now. So, 你说的对. So, 你 is you, 说, like what you said. The 对 is right.
Yeah.
我应该, so I should. 努力. I should know this word. This is like try, yeah?
Try really hard, yes.
戒掉. This is like give up.
Give up, yes. So in Chinese, if you want to say give up or quit smoking, you can say 戒烟. So 戒 carries the meaning of quit doing something or stop doing something. And the 掉 means, again, that is the character you put after the verb 戒 to show the result of it. So not only am I striving to quit, I want to actually quit it.
Okay.
戒掉自己的.
自己 is normally like myself or my own something, right?
Yes.
And then 讨好, this is please. And then 性
is type.
And then 人格
personality.
Personality, yeah.
讨好型人格.
Isn't 性格 also personality?
Actually, yes. I think both 性格 and 人格 can be translated as personality or character. But somehow I feel like 人格 is more serious.
Oh, more definitive.
Oh, yeah.
So like you want to say, for example, if I want to say this person is egotistic. I mean, that's kind of a summary of who this person is, right? And then 性格, this is like some of the qualities that this person is, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And also in Chinese, you can say 我赌上我的人格. I bet with my 人格. That means you are betting with something very, very serious about yourself. You cannot really lose your 人格.
Okay.
Like I said, something really serious.
Okay. I bet with everything I am.
Yeah, a little bit like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I mean, we don't say that in English, but I'm just...
Yeah. Okay, so other than that, do you have any other questions?
If I gave you my questions, we would be talking for an hour.
You can just say no. Simply say no. You don't really have to say all that every single time.
Right.
All right. Okay, so let's try the conversation now.
你这么有在帮他做工作？
我不太会拒绝别人的请求，不想引起冲突。不过没事儿的，我很乐于助人。
你要学会说不，不要总是对他有求必应，做气力不讨好的事。
你说的对，我应该努力戒掉自己的讨好型人格。You're listening to Takeaway Chinese with myself, Niuniu and Tony. We would love to hear from you. Send us your thoughts via email to learnchinese@cri.com.cn. Or if you want your voices to be heard reciting the conversation, you can send us a voice message as well. Coming up next, we are talking about people pleasers, some traits and how can we quit doing this. Don't go away, so you will take some Chinese away. Welcome back to Takeaway Chinese. I'm Niuniu, joined by Tony. So, Tony, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
If someone is a people pleaser and they always help, they're always very nice, would you like them?
I think I would, because I'm actually in a certain phase of my life where I need to please a little bit more. in certain regards. I mean, obviously, there's a spectrum for that. If it's too far, where this person is suffering and it disrupts their daily life and they're not able to get gratification from all of this service, then I think that's a problem.
I think I understand totally what you're saying, but in my life, I have experienced the situation where, for example, in a group, in a class, or in a friend circle, in a group of people, you see this one person trying to please so hard, and you can totally understand they have 讨好型人格 for sure. But most often, they'll not be the most popular one. The popular one is always the one who is fun to be with, who is being themselves, who is more charismatic in a certain way. So I sometimes feel like that is a perfect argument to persuade people to stop being a people pleaser, because the ultimate goal of being a people pleaser is to please people, is to make them like you. And you would realize that by being a people pleaser, you cannot really achieve that goal.
I think for most people, being a people pleaser is very extrinsic, and that's the problem. If people pleasing is intrinsic, where it's something that you actually get a lot of joy from, then I think it's okay. But the problem is, like you said, too many people need others to validate them and make them feel like that they're doing something right, and so that's when it becomes a burden, and it can be quite damaging over extended period of time.
In order to describe this kind of situation, let me introduce to you a Chinese idiom. We call it 徒劳无功.
徒劳无功. 无功.
Yes, so you can kind of like understand it as flog a dead horse. So you're doing these things, but it's useless. It's a really long way of saying useless. So 徒劳无功, it's like 徒 is only, 劳做劳动 labor, 无 have no, 功 result, or 功效 function, or any kind of help. So you're trying really hard, but it's not going to help with the situation you're, trying to improve. 徒劳无功. So for the people pleasers out there, what you're doing is 徒劳无功. They will not like you because you try to please.
I see. Yeah, there's a few expressions that I could think of in that regard, but yeah, I can understand what you mean.
Yeah, and also there are so many different symptoms when it comes to people pleasers. For example, I've talked some in our initial chat. I talked about being uncomfortable, saying not nice enough things to others, and trying to make up for it afterwards.
Not nice enough things.
Not nice enough things. I have to be really nice.
I'm not sure what you mean by that, not nice enough things.
And there's another one. I'm not really sure about this one, so I'm going to ask you. So when people are asking you a favor, and I managed to say no for the first time, then if they lower the level of their request and ask me again, I won't be able to say no, because I feel like I've already said no for once. There's no way I can reject them twice. Do you have that feeling as well?
You have very persistent people when they want you to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that will only work with me one time, and I'll let them know that I'm really going out on a limb for you. So I'll make them feel bad for me saying
Sneaky.
Yes. And then the next time I'm aware, okay, this is the tactics that they use. So I will make sure that I will schedule an excuse that will get me out of it entirely.
Oh, there's another thing about excuse. Because, by the way, excuse in Chinese would be 借口.
借口, I'm going to write that down.
Yeah, that is a very useful one, because 借口 is the meaning of borrow or lend. And 口, we know it's mouth. So 借口 is like saying you're borrowing someone's words, you're borrowing some excuse instead of really having a reason. 借口 excuse.
How do you say an exit?
An exit, 出口.
Okay. Yeah, this Cole
different.
somehow, what is in that character?
Oh yeah,
what
you
does it
can
mean?
same character. You can understand it as
It's like a
borrowing
way out.
Yeah, borrowing a way out. 借口.
Yeah, that's
a little
what
bit
came
like
to
that.
mind.
Yeah, that's the fun thing about Chinese learning. You have the characters meaning different things and you put them as words and you can understand in different ways.
Yeah,
it's
alibi.
It's a kind of funny. Yeah, alibi. 借口. So I've heard this theory that if you really want to say no, don't use an excuse. Just say no, implying that I don't want to do it.
This is coming from a people pleaser, guys. She never says no.
No, I'm just learning, trying to figure out what is a good way to say no.
Self-coaching yourself.
Because the thing is, if you say no and you provide an excuse, sometimes for some people, they will find a way to,
Yeah, to get around it.
Yeah.
They'll say, "Oh, don't worry about it. You have to work tomorrow. Don't worry about it. If you come in late, it's fine. I'll allow you to come in late tomorrow if you just stay out with us tonight," or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Or maybe if they ask you to do them a favor and you say, "I'm really busy this week," they'll say, "It's okay, you can do it next week." So in that case, you lose your excuse. So that's why people say that.
Why don't you just say, "Oh, I'm gonna be busy next week too." When is this thing done? Okay, you need this month. Okay, I'm gonna be busy this entire month. You could just say that.
Yeah, but it feels strange saying no to their faces too many times. Jumping back to our previous topic, as you can see, it's really hard.
It is. It takes practice, and I find the easiest way to go about it is to have a sense of humor. And just like the way I just did it now, if the person is trying to force the task on you, you can just say, "Oh, I'm really busy." And if they go, "Oh, well, it can be done anytime this month." Actually, now that you mention it, I think I'm going to be busy this entire month. And they'll definitely laugh because they know that that's pretty much saying, "I don't want to do it."
Huh. See, in your imagination, they'll be laughing about it. In mine, if I say that to their faces, I'm basically losing a friend forever.
That's a fallacy, and that's a mindset that the people pleaser has, right? I'm gonna lose this friend, quote unquote, forever, right? And so it's and I think that if you would try saying no sometimes, some of these outcomes that you imagine would happen, they normally don't.
They don't happen.
No. So give it a try. Just saying no.
To the fellow people pleasers out there, have a little sense of humor when you say no. Do say no. And if you want to give an excuse, for sure you can, but try not to. Just say no. Let them understand you do not want to do it. It doesn't really matter if time allows you to.
Oh, create many 借口. 借口 are fun. I practice, I learn, I train myself on how to give certain 借口 all the time. And then when the time comes for me to give them, I've got so many in my bag. It's great.
All right. So to the fellow people pleasers out there, you can choose from not making an excuse and making a lot of excuses, like Tony has said. But I think the bottom line here is we know it has something to do with having a little bit less of sense of security. And do not worry about it. Just remember, people love you for who you are. They don't love you for the favors you do for them. And also, trying that hard to please others would not really get you anywhere. 徒劳无功. So love yourself and love those who love you instead of caring about the entire world.
That's an interesting way to close out this episode.
让我们一起戒掉讨好型人格. That brings us to the end of today's Takeaway Chinese. I'm Yang with Tony here in the studio. For more episodes of the show, you can visit our website at radio.cgtn.com and go to the column Podcast.
You can also listen to the show and read the script there. Find us wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, including Apple, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and much more. Just search for Takeaway Chinese. And don't forget to leave your comments, ratings, and questions.
Thanks for listening. See you next time.
再见.